Welcome to Layer Logic, Tools for Google Calendar. Over here on the sidebar, we have the icon, which will load up what is essentially the home screen. Layer Logic is a Google Calendar add-on that provides undo and redo, snapshots, and logic bundles directly inside the Google Calendar workspace. The drop-down menu allows the user to navigate amongst the tools, as well as access some settings. Let's take a look at undo. The free version allows the user to have 3 undo and redo actions in a 24-hour period. If we go over here and move an event on the calendar and come over and click the undo button, you can see Layer Logic recognizes that change on the calendar, moves the event back to its original day, and gives a toast message with the success. You can also click redo, which of course will reverse that action. And you can see the undo's remaining acknowledges that change as well. If we click view undo timeline, this is a running history of Layer Logic's detected changes on the calendar. As this builds out, you can see a chronological order of the changes. Clicking on a single event within the timeline gives you some further info and it allows you to undo to this point, which could be multiple events if clicked down further in the timeline. And here you can see we did the same thing by the timeline view. So that is the undo and redo feature. Next, we'll move on to snapshots. The free version of Layer Logic works on the user's primary calendar only. So here you can see there's an option for additional calendars. This brings the user to later. Back at the snapshots tool, we'll click begin snapshot. And this essentially captures the state of the user's primary calendar or the selected calendar. Were they in the pro mode? Now that the snapshot is active, which will also be visible amongst the other tools, which can also be used during a snapshot. Undo and redo can be navigated per usual. Logic bundles can be added. Snapshot will be tracking all of those activities. Here we'll move an event again. We can delete an event and maybe we'll change a color. We can choose to keep the changes and essentially it discards the snapshot and the calendar remains unchanged from its current state right now. Or we can restore that snapshot and that'll allow the calendar to jump back to the original state. Here you can see some instructions on that. We'll confirm the restore of the snapshot and we'll see the events revert on the calendar with the moved event jumping back, the deleted event being restored, and the color change being updated. And Layer Logic will give us a toast message confirming the success of the restore. You can see we're back to the beginning of the snapshot. Keep changes or restore snapshot will clear the snapshot field or state completely. Moving on to logic bundles. These are preset or predetermined sets of events that users can define with custom offsets, beacon logic, and ability to add additional titles and descriptions. There are 3 predetermined or preloaded demo bundles that a user can work with to get a sense for the tool. There's also a preview for the pro version, which allows for more events and additional logic. We'll choose the project timeline as a demo event. Go down to a fresh month here so you can see it populate in the calendar. Again, we'll choose our primary calendar. Users can choose any calendar they're able to edit once they've upgraded to Pro. Start date, we'll choose June 8th. It's a nice and visible date. Title additional, just type demo in here, and this will be added to all event titles within the Logic bundle. And description additional, so this will be added to all events within the description. We'll say demo edition, and we will apply the Logic bundle. You can see a success toast, Logic bundle applied, 5 events being created. If we look at these events now, you can see it's got demo is the additional title for each event. We've got the additional description event as well as any predefined or pre-populated description that comes from setting up the Logic bundle. And of course, we're back at undo now. If we wanted to, we could go in and see this activity as well as applied Logic bundle with the ability to undo the entirety of it should we choose to. So this groups Logic bundles together as one timeline entry. We can undo to this point. You can see that undid the entirety of the bundle application. Back in Logic bundles, we can look at editing or creating Logic bundles. Let's edit the selected one, which is the project timeline, same one we just applied. And here you can see we have a kind of global description that just describes the actual bundle name, as well as all the events. You can add events within each event. You can choose title, the day offset, the offset mode, a description for that particular event, and a weekend override. So this would be to push to Monday or pull to Friday should the event land on a weekend. You can also choose the color. The Pro tier allows for additional events beyond the 5, up to 10 events, as well as additional logic within each event offset. In the settings, we have the window that is currently active for layer logic. This is 30 days in the past, 180 days in the future. Our plan, we can upgrade to Pro. Undo tracking, so this is going to be our additional calendars. If a user were to upgrade to Pro, they could then choose additional calendars that would be tracked for undo, as well as making it available for snapshots and applying Logic bundles. There's the opportunity to clear the undo timeline here. This does reset the user's 3 undo actions for the free tier. However, of course, you lose access to undo any prior changes. No modifications are made to the calendar at this point. And lastly, down here, we have contact support with the general form for the issue type, a subject line, a short description, and support email. There's a link to leave a review should a user determine to do that. And finally, upon a new install, a user will receive, we walk through a short startup tutorial. That startup tutorial can be accessed anytime within the settings page via this button. And this walks through undo, snapshots, and Logic bundles. Upgrading to Pro will bring the user to a Stripe checkout page. Stripe is currently in sandbox mode during the review process. Upon upgrade, the user can refresh the app or use the refresh status button within the settings page to verify and make sure that the app swaps over to Pro, at which point the user will gain access to all the calendars that they can edit, be tracked for undo, to apply snapshots and apply logic bundles. They'll also gain the ability to unlimited undo rather than the 3 undos, and they'll also gain additional logic options within the bundles